It's your third or second. I think it's third, though. But right-handed batter, shortstop, 31 years old now. And he had a 4 WAR last year, a lot of it on defense when I read you this stat line. But at 242 average, 312 on base, 701 OPS. He only got 16 homers and 66 RBIs, still got you 19 stolen bases. But this was not what we expected from Dansby. It wasn't the best year. He had a horrible, horrible start last year. And then he rallied back to at least salvage his stat line. But this is a former number 1 pick back in 2015. So weird. Who else were we talking about in 15? That's right. Kyle Tucker, Ian Happ. They have the whole damn draft class. I'm telling you, this thing's weird that way. But what's fun about him, just fun baseball stat, because at the shrewdness, we try and hook you up a little bit of everything. But he was actually traded before he played for anybody for Shelby Miller from Atlanta. So that's how he got to Atlanta from Arizona. So Arizona drafted him, and then he got drafted for Shelby Miller, who I think we'll talk about him in another episode too. But Shelby Miller still around too, but not doing as well as Dansby. But Dansby, the 2-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glove. He did have his career high in stolen bases last year with 19. But that 701 OPS was his worst since 2018 when he finished with a 699. So again, had just a brutal start last year. But apparently, and I wasn't tracking this. I don't know if you were ever tracking this either, Tim, but he claims that he had a core injury that he'd been playing through for 2 straight years. So he had surgery to repair that in the offseason. Says he's feeling great. But what have you seen out there at Sloan Park this year about Dansby Swanson? How's he looking this year?
He's looking like the Dansby of old, in particular in the field. I mean, some of the plays this guy makes, I just marvel at. Like the range and then going over and just whirling and throwing this, and you're thinking, how is that even going to, be accurate? And it's right there. It's just, he is really a phenomenal fielder. And, that's, when you're playing shortstop,
real good.
You have to have that. So, in this day and age, probably always needed to have it. But, so in terms of his hitting this spring, it's one of those things. I haven't noticed anything negative, and he hasn't been lighting it up either. I think he was, last I looked, he was hitting 220 or something. So it's, again, doesn't matter because who knows what, if he's
Spring
working
stats
on
don't matter until they do.
Yeah. But
that's it.